Good evening and welcome to the Union Bank Court here at the Elida Fieldhouse, where WSN tonight brings you a Western Buckeye League matchup. The Wapakoneta Redskins are in town to play the Elida Bulldogs. Our premier sponsor this evening for Wapakoneta is Al's Woody's Diner in Wapak. Wapak's best place for pizza, wings, subs, and burgers. You can call 419-738-9111. My name is Mark Scheim. My pleasure to be play-by-play alongside Coach John Zerby. And John, it's Western Buckeye League night. That means it's a big deal tonight. Let's talk about Wapak a little bit first. They're 7-9. Yep. They've been in every game and had some serious injury problems too.
Yeah, they have, and they'll hopefully get Zach Niekamp. He's one of the big injury issues that they've had this year. But Caden Page and then Caleb Moyer coming on. And Caleb Moyer started the season late because of a football injury, but he's come on strong. And here's the thing about Wapak. They play a really physical kind of basketball, and I feel like even though their record is close to 500, they're in a lot of these games, and they play really tough. Trey Elkert does a really nice job of coaching these guys up, and looking on the record-wise, it could be a tough matchup for them tonight, but I think that's going to be great competition here in the WBO.
The Elida, they're in with Matt Tabler's team. They're 11-4. They're 3-2 in the conference play. They thought they had a serious injury with Parker Krim. He was out for a while, but he's back this evening. That will help them too. Yeah,
he brings a lot on the defensive end and also on the boards as well. But two guys to watch out for, Zori Island and Amari Wash. Those two guys, they're lights out. They'll get up and down the floor in transition, making plays on defense. And so, Elida's has really progressed this year. They started the season off kind of slow and has gotten rolling. So coming into this game with an 11-4 record overall, this is a big game for them in the league tonight.
Our premier sponsor for this and Wapakoneta has been Al's Woody's Diner. John, I'll be back in a moment. We'll talk about keys to the game. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse, the Union Bank Court. The premier sponsor for this evening for the Elida Bulldogs is John Stocker DDS, providing dental care for high school sports fans. We appreciate their sponsorship this evening. Well, John Zerby, Wapakoneta comes in. They're 7-9. They're 2-3 in the conference. They scored at 44 a game. They give up 42. Keys to the game for the Redskins.
Yeah, they struggle to score, and I think the biggest thing that they'll have to do tonight is defensively just be physical. And Elida does score at a high rate at times, so play with physicality tonight. I think that's going to be something that, if they can even make Elida make free throws tonight, that's going to be important. That will mean that they'll have to go to their bench a little bit as well, but play with physicality and limit turnovers. I mean, they cannot turn the ball over tonight. Elida's going to score points, and so for them to have as many possessions, good possessions as they can is going to be critical. And Mark, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but they got to make shots. I mean, I've seen Wapak play a few times this year, and they struggled field goal percentage-wise. They cannot do that tonight. They got to have a high field goal percentage to stay pace with the Bulldogs.
The Elida Bulldogs, they're committed 11-4. They're 3-2 in the conference. They score 53. They give up 50. Keys to the game for the Bulldogs.
I think the first thing is that they got to play with great enthusiasm. What I say by that is sometimes you see Elida and you're just like, wow, like the effort is there. And then those other times that you can see that Coach Tabler's got to really get on them. I think if they just come out and play extremely hard, it's going to get them off to a great start. I think always defense is the key, because they want to get up and down in transition. Coach Tabler preaches that man-to-man defense where they're aggressive and they're getting after it. So great effort defensively, which turns their points offensively off of those turnovers in the transition, and finally just rebound as a team. Not necessarily a big team, so they got to box out. They got to get rebounds. They can't let Wapak have second opportunities on the offensive end.
Our premier sponsor tonight for the Elida Bulldogs has been John Stocker DDS. We've got the starting lineups and the opening tip coming up right after this. It's Wapak, it's Elida, and you're watching high school basketball on WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse, where our first quarter sponsor tonight is Binkley Real Estate. Binkley Real Estate has an effective sales approach, effective marketing campaigns, and extensive network that will get you results that move you. Let's talk about our starting lineups right now. Let's look at the Wapakoneta Redskins. First of all, they will start number 1, Caden Page, 6'2" sophomore. He averages 6 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Number 2 is Caleb Moyer, 6'2" sophomore at 6 points a game. Number 5, Nate Metzger, 6'1" senior, 6 points a game, 5 boards. Number 20, Cash Shadle, averages 10 a game. He's a 6'2" senior with 43 three-point field goals on the season. And number 23 is Ryan Sadler. He's a 6'4" senior, averaging 4 points per game. For the Elida Bulldogs, Matt Tabler's team, they will go with number 0, Zori Island. 10.2 points per game for the junior. He averages 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Number 1, Seth Sharp. Seth's a 5'9" senior. He averages 6 a game. Number 4 is Amari Wash, a sophomore. 12 points a game, 2 steals, and 3 assists for him. Number 13, Jackson Kovalt's a senior, averaging 6.5 points per game. And number 31 is David Etzkorn. David is a senior, averaging 10.5 points a game and 4 rebounds. Our officials this evening, Jake Botek, Joe Allen, and Mark Freilich. As we said earlier in our pregame, Elida is 11-4, 3-2 in conference play. And Wapak is 7-9. They are 2-3 in the Western Buckeye League. Our JV game tonight was won by the Elida Bulldogs, 33-22. Good crowd, John.
It's a big crowd tonight. Yep. I think it's because of the 96 young cheerleaders that are cheering tonight.
Yeah,
so
we'll
enjoy that. But it's a good crowd for a Friday night. Awesome to see all these people to come out and celebrate WBL basketball tonight.
Of course, the Wapakoneta Redskins are in red. They will go to the left on your screen. Elida wears the white jerseys, and they will be on home and playing defense first of all. This can be a very patient team. Caleb Moyer. This is his 6th game as a player after that injury suffered in football. There's a turnover into Kovalt's hands. And Kovalt tried to hit that score and lost it out of bounds.
And I think that's one thing right away that we looked at was Wapak and turnovers. They come down right away and commit a turnover. I think they got to settle down here and make sure that they get a good shot and be a little bit more patient with the basketball.
For much of this season, Jackson Kovalt has been the 6th man. He's been pressed into the starting role with Parker Krim out with a knee injury. Parker's back this evening. We'll see how much time he gets on the floor. It's Cash Shadle and Moyer, and we're going to get our first foul of the basketball game. That will go against Zori Island.
Yeah, I like the drive there. Really good patience there by Cash Shadle. The ball was loose, almost that turnover once again, and as you can see, Zori Island on the floor trying to make plays for the Bulldogs.
First foul of the game. Metzger gets it inbounds to Shadle and gets it back, does Nate. Caden Page. This is Ryan Sadler as they play 5 on the perimeter. Into the corner it goes to Nate Metzger.
Immediately you're seeing Elida playing aggressive defense. Wapak really struggling to get an open look.
Pass
Elida
inside, power layup, and the first basket of the game will go to Nate Metzger.
Yeah, Metzger did a nice job of making a cut into the lane, getting open and using the glass to get those first 2 points.
Amari Wash trying to get into the lane and has to give it up to Zori Island. Dynamic pair of guards for Elida. This is Etzkorn, the senior, coming off an 18-point game earlier this week against Bryan. And Kovalt. Zori Island, the left-hander. Both teams being very patient. Etzkorn trying to find a hole, couldn't. Here's a left-handed shot by Zori Island off the back of the rim. Kovalt chases it down the corner, but it went off of Kovalt. Will go the other way.
Yeah, good hustle by Jackson Kovalt to try to get that offensive rebound after that Zori Island miss. It was a good look for Island. He just couldn't get it to drop.
This is a tough place to inbounds the ball against pressure down the corner right here. See how much pressure Elida puts on. They find Caden Page, and he will advance the basketball. 2-0 early on. We played a couple of minutes here. Page spins into the lane, and Caden Page finishes at the rim. He's got a basket for 2.
Well, he looked smooth there, Mark. Yes, he did a really good job of maintaining his composure, getting in the lane, spinning, and then using the glass.
Island wanted to pull up jumper and could not. Seth Sharp backing him down. Seth's shot goes off glass. Kovalt hustles into the rebound. Bounce pass. And Seth Sharp waits for the defender to slide by, and he scores.
And that's a big points for Seth Sharp to get things going and get things started for the Bulldogs.
Metzger looking inside at Sadler. Couldn't get it there. Caleb Moyer. This is what Wapak really likes to do, isn't it? They will work and work and work till they get the shot they want. Moyer ball fakes. And Sadler on the perimeter.
And that is really difficult for high school kids to be patient, believe me. But Wapak, nice job there defensively by Elida. Ball's on the floor, but they are being extremely patient offensively.
Moyer scrambled into the loose ball. What are they going to get? We'll get an offensive foul. This one's going to go against Caden Page as he runs over a Bulldog. I want to thank Rhodes for being our instant replay sponsor tonight. Rhodes State College Spring Registration 2024 is coming up, and it's now open at Rhodes State College. Spring Registration 2024. Each team with a foul early on here. Played 3 minutes. Amari Wash. Wash going to the rim. And he overshot it, but we're going to get free throws. Our free throw sponsor tonight is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Lee's Famous Recipe Chickens in Lima, Wapak, Delphos, and in St. Mary's. You can call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens here. Into the free throw line will go Amari Wash.
I like the take by Wash to the lane. Looked like Caleb Moyer was defending him pretty well. They're going to give that one to Caden Page, though. He's got 2 early fouls for the Redskins, but it's going to give Wash the opportunity here to close that gap.
Ryan Richardson, a 6'1 sophomore, will have to enter now with a couple of fouls. Wash makes his first free throw. As talented a player as he is, the free throw line has not been his friend this year for him. Dropped the first one, that's a good sign. And got them both. He's got 2 now, and we're tied at 4.
And I think Amari Wash, he's one of the leaders on this team, point per game wise. Free throw line's got to be one of those things that he's got to continue to improve on if Elida's going to make a nice little run here towards the end of the season.
The new player is 24, Ryan Richardson, wearing the red jersey. As he just flash cut across the lane and got jammed. Also, it was number 11, Logan Healy. Logan Healy is a 5'11 senior. Post up inside. Here's a lob pass, and they use their height advantage to get it inside to Nate Metzger.
I've seen Nate Metzger play several times this year. Every time I've come away impressed with him, not only when he has the basketball, Mark, but when he's off the basketball, just his movement, and you see him get positioned there to get a nice wide open look.
Once again, here's a tough place to inbound the ball down close to the baseline on the side. Wapak's going to put a little pressure on, but to get it into Island. Yeah, Nate Metzger has 4 of the 6 Redskin points here halfway through quarter number 1. Island working against Metzger. Spin move, left-handed jump shots, long, and hustling to the corner, and Healy comes up with a basketball after a scramble for it. That pass is stolen by Wash, and then right back again by Healy. Logan trying to get in the lane. And, nice shot. Nate Metzger going with the left side right-handed shot. Banks it in.
Nate Metzger, like I said earlier, and you see Edscorn down on the other end, but Nate Metzger bringing something offensively. 6 of the 8 Walpock points right now. As you see here on the Rhodes State replay, he's been active, really giving Walpock that punch in the arm that they needed to get going.
Logan Healy will foul David Edscorn as David goes to the free throw line to shoot Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throws. Edscorn averages 10.5 points per game. He shoots 67% from the free throw line. Here comes number 23, that's Eben Jackson into the game for Elida. He's a junior averaging 2.6.
David Edscorn's just one of these players, Mark, that you look at him and he looks athletic, but I think he's also just kind of like the piece of the team that has that leadership role, the guy that they look to in times of trouble, the guy that settles things down. David Edscorn, a real leader of this Elida basketball team.
Metzger being pressured out front. Island doing what Island does best. This is Shadle for 3, and he's deadly out there. Cash Shadle now has 44 three-point field goals. Our three-point field goals that are brought to you by Frost Roofing. Family owned and operated for over 95 years. Join Frost family. They are equal opportunity employer. That's 419-339-ROOF. Basket the other end by Edscorn. He's got 4 in the game now, and we're going to get a foul that will go against David.
Edscorn answers that play quickly, but Elida broke down defensively. They know how well Cash Shadle shoots from the outside, and he was left wide open for an open shot, and boy, he drilled it.
He is a guy you have to run off the three-point line because he gets his feet set. He is a very talented shooter. There's a steal. Island throws it ahead to his teammate. That was pretty. Wash ends up with points 3 and 4 thanks to the steal and pass by Island. That's what they do best.
I'll tell you, that is the way they want to score. That is what Coach Matt Tabler preaches. It's aggressive defense.
Shadle's rim shot went off the front of the rim. Kovac rebounds. He goes the length of the floor and will throw it out to Etzkorn, who picks a 3. Etzkorn, 27 of those on the season for him. He's got 7 in the game. Elida with the lead.
Created by good offensive rebound to kick it out. Excuse me, not a rebound, but just good penetration. Kicks it out to Etzkorn, waiting for the triple try, and now Elida takes the lead.
Frost Roofing is sponsoring our 3-point field goals this evening. Shadle goes inside this time, and Kovac with another rebound. Etzkorn wanted to take a 3. They run him off the line, so he goes up from 17. It bounces out. The rebound comes to Metzger.
And you see the dynamic difference. Wapak, walk it up, set it up. Elida, get it as quick as they can. Get down the floor as fast as they can. It's made for a good first quarter.
Our scoreboard tonight is sponsored by Webb Insurance Agency, serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and in Bluffton. 13-11 on our Webb Insurance scoreboard. And nice move to the goal by Caleb Moyer for his first basket to tie it at 13.
Oh, Caleb Moyer looked good. He was aggressive. He got up high, used the glass, and a nice bucket for Caleb Moyer.
Shoulder injury, is that correct? In that last football game?
Shoulder injury. I believe he had surgery. What a key player. And we talked a little bit about it off air. I feel like he's been playing for 5 years, but he's only a sophomore, Mark. What a bright future ahead for that young man.
I didn't see the final stat page, but he was approaching 80% completion on the season. Jackson bounced past Etzkorn. That was a pretty give-and-go play. Etzkorn's got 9 here in the opening quarter.
Great movement by David Etzkorn without the basketball, and Evan Jackson did a really nice job of setting that up and not looking at him and finding him backdoor.
15-13, Elida on the Webb Insurance scoreboard. Under 20 seconds to go, opening quarter. In the corner it goes to Richardson, and then back to Metzger. Metzger to the rim. I think Island got a hand on it, stripped it loose. And then the battle for it. Island gets it, and that will bring our first quarter to an end. It's been a competitive one. Elida 15-13 at the break. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. At the Elida Fieldhouse, the Union Bank Court. Our timeout sponsor tonight is Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. You can call 419-225-6067, or you can visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com. John Zerby, I walked into Metzger Financial Services with a question Monday morning about 11 o'clock, and it was answered by about 11:20.
Matt Metzger does a great job. I'll tell you, he knows his stuff, and that really pays off to have someone to advise you with things that, you know, for me and you might be difficult to figure out, right?
Yeah. Our quarter sponsor today is Binkley Real Estate. Binkley Real Estate has an effective sales approach, effective marketing campaigns, and extensive network that will get results that move you. Second quarter, Elida had 9 in the opening quarter from David Etzkorn. Nate Metzger had 6 for Wapakoneta, our 2 leading scorers in the game. Number 5 checked in. That's Tanner Roberts for Elida. Looking to see if we had anybody check in for the Redskins haven't played yet. We got them all. This is Roberts right here on the perimeter. Sharp, Island. Roberts tried to cut inside, got held up. Sharp to the rim, fights it up through traffic, and rebound. And now we're going to get Parker Krim in. You can see the little brace he has on his right knee. Thought he had a serious injury against LCC, was not. Glad to see him back.
Yeah, I was actually able to see that game, and it did look like he went down and was scary there for a moment. It is good to see him back, you know, knee brace and all. He's really brought a lot to this team this year, and I know that maybe easing him back into the game here in the second quarter.
As a defender and a rebounder and an occasional scorer inside. Might you say a body of an enforcer?
Well, and only a sophomore, Mark.
Yeah, how about that?
In 2 years, it's going to be scary to see what he looks like.
Elida has to back it out and restart their offense. Island wants to get away from Moyer and can't. Sharp inside. This time it's Elida making the visiting team work offensively.
And I think that's because defensively, Wapak is being aggressive, and they are getting at it. They are being physical like we talked about. making Elida earn every point, making them go to the free throw line and make free throws.
Island spins into traffic and draws a foul from Caleb Moyer. He will get to shoot free throws, and our free throw sponsor tonight is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and in St. Mary's. You can call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style, happens here. Zori Island bounces one off the front of the rim.
And I like kind of the strategy of being physical, taking the chances of maybe Elida not getting the easy layups in transition, but forcing them to make free throws. Just, you got to look down your bench to make sure you have enough guys to foul tonight.
That one also bounced out, and the rebound went to Caleb Adams, a 6'4 freshman who's entered a moment ago, wearing number 21. Sadler. Healy in the corner. Moyer, three look, back to the rim, and who hit it out of bounds? It went off of Sadler. Metzger back in, Koval back in, Etzkorn back in. Our scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Webb Insurance Agency, serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and in Bluffton. Metzger, looking inside. Gets around Krim and goes to the rim and shoots it a little bit hard. There's Parker Krim with a rebound.
And that's one of the things Parker Krim brings to the Bulldogs lineup is that rebounding presence.
Koval's baseline jumper doesn't go. And Metzger has to track the rebound down in the corner. 15-13, 2 minutes into this quarter, just like it was at the quarter break. Coach Trey Elkert calling a play. See what they come up with. Backdoor count, but Wash was right on that one. And Wash to the rim. Nope. Rebound comes down to Ryan Sadler. Etzkorn ends up with it. David Etzkorn becomes a double-figure scorer with 11.
Well, and Mark, so far it's 6-1 turnovers. Wapak Elida. That's a huge right now. Wapak struggling to maintain the basketball. Even when they get a rebound, committing turnovers is really hurting them right now.
They trail by 4 on the Webb Insurance scoreboard. Got their 5 out on the perimeter going right here. Here's the freshman. Adams trying to get inside and cannot. To Moyer. Bounce pass inside. Metzger using his size advantage and goes up and scores. He's got 8.
And that was a physical play, but there was nothing illegal about it. He just did a nice job. He kept his feet underneath him and went straight up and got the bucket.
Timeout Wapakoneta. Our timeouts there brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. Tonight's instant replay is sponsored by Road State College. Spring registration 2024 is now open. A little technical difficulties here, John, as we lost our monitor. We'll get through it. First time out of the game, we'll go to the Wapakoneta Redskins. They trail by 2, and now we're back. This guy's in the booth. They know what they're doing upstairs, don't they?
How did we survive for that 10 seconds without a monitor, Mark?
Parker Krim couldn't finish inside. Caleb Adams with the rebound. Good left-handed move, just didn't go down. Here's Moyer working again. Etzkorn's got Metzger now. A little bit better size matchup for Elida. Still trying to post him up. This time Sharp's got him on a switch.
I really like how patient Wapak's been. We've talked about it so far, but I think a big piece of that is Caleb Moyer. He's come in and really brought a lot of stability. I watched Wapak early. And that's a nice-looking triple there by Cash Shadle.
Yeah, how many times we talked about it. If Cash Shadle gets his feet set, and he just buried that one, puts his team up. Our three-point sponsor tonight is Frost Roofing, family-owned and operated for over 95 years. Join the Frost family. They are an equal opportunity employer. 419-739-ROOF. Krim inside, and this time he muscles up and scores.
And that's an athletic move. That's pure athletic ability. He's able to move, get his arms up. It's really difficult to defend that shot. Parker Krim gets himself on the board.
Metzger. Etzkorn has them this time. Well, Elida back up by 1. Last move that went down. Moyer. Caleb Moyer, ball fakes, goes to the rim, bounce passes to Krim. That ball stolen. Kovault in the right spot to Island. And the pass was just a shade long, turned it over, but that's a good effort.
Great effort by Zori Island to get up and down the floor, to get that turnover and try to get that play there. You know, Zori Island, he does a lot of different things. I think when he gets going offensively, he hasn't scored yet tonight, but when he gets going offensively, you really see Elida at their very best. He's doing a lot defensively, just hasn't been able to turn it on the other side of the ball.
I have seen Zori Island multiple times over the last few years, and he can be a streaky scorer. He might have none at halftime and 10 by the time the third quarter's over. 3 ball. Want to guess who shot that one?
Well,
no, it was not. It automatically went in. It was actually Richardson buried that one. That one missed. Rebound Kovault. He goes up in traffic, and Jackson Kovault scores.
Nice comeback from Elida, but I think one of the things that Elida's struggling with is the ball movement from Wapak. They're quickly moving the basketball, being patient, and getting those open looks from beyond the arc.
Metzger inside. Wants to back Etzkorn down. And Kovault, we had another rebound. That young man's on the glass this evening.
Yeah, Jackson Kovault's been great on the boards, both offensive and defensive, and he's really, he only has 2 points on the scoreboard, but he's been a big force inside grabbing rebounds.
We're tied at 21. Etzkorn. And missed the opportunity to get sharp in the corner. Our instant replays tonight are brought to you by Rhodes State College. Spring registration 2024 is now open. Metzger will now advance the basketball. 6'1" senior. Nate's got 8 in the game. Only averages about 6. Haley comes off the screen, pull-up jumper. High for the rebound, Amari Wash, and he turns the corner, heads the other way immediately. Redskins get back pretty well. 90 seconds to go, opening half.
I think if you're Wapak, you're feeling really good right now, Mark. I mean, you come into this game and you know Elida's got some explosive players on offense. They've done a really good job of slowing this game down just to the point where maybe score-wise you would like to have a few more points, but you're right, tied up at halftime, close to halftime anyway. They're right where they want to be.
Kovault goes to the rim, up and under move for him. He's got 4 in the game. Jackson Kovault. And we're going to get a timeout, Elida. 1:01 to go in half. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. Elida timeout with 1:01 to go, and our score Elida up 23-21. Tonight's three-point sponsor is Frost Roofing, family and operator for over 95 years. Join the Frost family. They're an equal opportunity employer at 419-739-ROOF. So it's 23. Did they put that up on the scoreboard late? I had a 21 all of a sudden it's 23-21.
Yeah, I think they did put it up late, and that's why Coach Taba called that quick timeout there. But it's Jackson Kovault. It's really come on. I mean, he's done a lot of different things. As you see here, to him defensively making a play and almost another turnover by the Redskins.
Shadle for 3. I think I've seen that movie before.
And that was not a breakdown defensively by Elida because almost created a turnover. But Cash Shadle, man, I'll tell you, I would probably just keep someone on him and not leave his presence.
Well, those loose ball scrambles, that's when things like that happen for him, camped on the line. Elida trailing by a point after that Frost three-point field goal, and they're going to play last shot of the opening 16 minutes. Amari Wash got 4 in the game. See if they get him a high ball screen and what they work on here. That's what happens. High ball screen, pass to the corner. Etzkorn for 3. David Etzkorn with a Frost three-point field goal, and his team will take a 26-24 lead after the opening 16 minutes. It's halftime. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse where tonight's quarter sponsor is Binkley Real Estate. Binkley Real Estate has an effective sales approach, effective marketing campaigns, and extensive network that will get results that move you. Also, our premier sponsor for tonight for the Elida Bulldogs is John Stocker, DDS, providing dental care for high school sports fans. Mark Shine back here. Have a special guest at halftime. Ann Stiles, the community coordinator of affairs for Mercy Health. Special night here, Ann.
Hello, how are you? Yeah, great
well,
night. Yeah, Mercy Health night tonight. So we like to support all of our athletes and students. Both schools, we have athletic trainers for Elida and Wapakoneta. So you'll see about third quarter, you're going to see some Mercy Health basketballs and some Mercy Health towels being thrown to the crowd. So just want to support all of our community, and great to be here.
And we're glad to have you here. And trainers are so important in high school athletics.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, our trainers are great here, and Jazz here for Elida and Caitlin for Wapak.
Yep.
They're there, help the students mind, body, and soul. So
thank you for much. Thanks, Ann Stiles, for being here as part of our game here this evening from Mercy Health. Bring John Zerby back in if we can wake him up over here on the sideline. Right now it's Elida 26 and Wapak 24. David Etzkorn has 14 points. John, we're just talking about it. Here's you're able to slide back in. Etzkorn with 14 points. He's missed like one shot this evening. And on the other side, we're looking at 9 from Cash Shadle. It's been a really interesting first half.
Yeah, and I think two names that we looked at, David Etzkorn, great contributor for the Bulldogs, but not necessarily one of their leading scorers, and he's really been pivotal. And we know Cash Shadle can shoot, but, man, he's been a huge part of this Wapak team going into halftime with this game. That's the score, 26-24, the Bulldogs on top. I'm going to be interested to see the adjustments at halftime, to see what Coach Tabler does to maybe get Zori Island involved, and what Coach Elkert does to maybe try to get some of his guys involved as well.
Well, and as you talked about early on, 8 turnovers for the Wapakoneta Redskins and 4 for Elida, and that could be key as this game progresses.
And I think that's one thing we talked about early was, Wapak just cannot afford to turn the ball over. They got to get as many good looks as they can. Elida's aggressive. They play that aggressive defense. They'll press. They'll get after you. They'll try to score points in transition.
Opening this third quarter action, the ball goes to Caden Page. He didn't get to play a lot in the opening half because of foul trouble. There's Koval, tried to knock it loose. Jackson's had a very active half steal. Island headed to the rim and muscles through traffic, and it rolls out on him, however. Good job by Page to hustle back and defend the play. Island with it again. Sharp's going to get a 3 look out of the corner. Koval battles for the rebound and scores inside. An active Jackson Koval this evening.
Yeah, we talked about David Etzkorn, but Jackson Koval's the other one. Starting tonight, getting that opportunity to start. He's really contributed, and I've seen him play this year. He's really going tonight. He's really at his best rebounding and scoring for the Bulldogs.
It's 30 now, 24 in favor of Elida. I had it 28. I don't know if I've got an error in my scorebook somewhere. Anyway, it's Wapak. They put it back to 28. This
is why Metzger Financial Services comes in handy here, Mark.
There we go. Tip inside by Page, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Our free throws tonight are sponsored by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and in St. Mary's. You can call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens here. To the free throw line, Caden Page. He had a bucket in the opening quarter before foul trouble sat him down. That's point 3. He's a 60% free throw shooter on the season. And, John, I'm going to throw a prop out to both coaches. I requested stats from them this week, and they were right on time, my man. I really appreciate that.
Well, and both these coaches, first class. I love Coach Tabler.
Yep.
Really brings a lot of energy. I think Coach Elkert's got a bright future at Wapak. I mean, he's young in his coaching career, and already we've seen this program take strides under his direction.
It's a 2-point Bulldog lead. Etzkorn with his 14 points couldn't get away from Page, and Island has to reset it. Etzkorn on the wing, gets a screen. Page got back to him, and Ryan Sadler's going to pick up his first foul. He went through the receiver.
Yeah, Ryan Sadler's had a good season. He's not necessarily a scorer, but he comes in and gives them some quality minutes, especially that physical presence inside. Got caught with a foul there, but I like what he brings to the Redskin offense.
Island spin move, and he finished inside, and that is Zori Island's first basket. And when he gets going, John, watch out.
I have a feeling that the halftime adjustment went something like this. Let's get Zori Island involved offensively, and you can see right away he is impressive.
Zori had only one field goal attempt in the opening half. That ball sailed out of bounds. A little miscommunication. 30-26 in favor of the Bulldogs. Our scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Webb Insurance Agency, serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and in Bluffton. Wash. Discuss life with Island, and Zori will take the ball away from him. Same play, other side. Kovault off a screen. Spin moves into the lane. Good defense by Sadler. Kovault couldn't get to that one. Rebound came to Wapakoneta, trailing by 4. About 3 minutes gone here in quarter 3. Down in the corner it goes to Page, and here's Moyer trying to get loose. Pass inside, Moyer got Island on his back and loses the ball to Zori Island. Kovault headed the other way. And Zori Island. Cord cutters can watch WSN for free with an antenna on 44.2. Use our app for only $8 a month. Sign up at app.wsn.tv.
I don't know about you, Mark, but that's the way I watch television anymore, is with apps.
I watch it with apps, and I watch it with my antenna.
You know, those things, it's free. You scan, and there you go. You have channels. You have WTLW there and WSN there. It's easy.
There you go. Here's Island working the lane, and he lost the basketball to the hands of Caden Page. And then he comes down, and I thought he was going to foul. Page goes to the rim, overshoots it, but he will draw a foul. Our instant replays tonight are brought to you by Rhodes State College. Spring 2024 registration is now open. The foul went to Jackson Kovault. That is his first. Page missed that free throw. He made a pair just a moment ago.
Well, we kind of talked about Elida's free throw struggles as well, but, you know, Wapak, I wouldn't say they're a good shooting team. It's something that they got to improve on, but they definitely have to make free throws tonight if they want to keep up with the Bulldogs.
Kovault's got a 3 look. And Wash tracks it down the corner, but collided with a teammate trying to do the same thing, and it went out of bounds. Comes Parker Krim back in the game.
Yeah, Mario Wash did a good job of hustling to grab the rebound, but got a little out of control there and ran into Jackson Kovault and commits a turnover there for Elida.
Parker Krim with 2 points and a couple of rebounds in the opening half in limited time. He's trying to get back after an injury. Just got cleared earlier this week to practice again. And was it tipped? It was not. Just went out of bounds.
And it's been a struggle tonight, Mark. So far, Wapak 13 turnovers to Elida 6. And I know that, you know, we're kind of talking about it a lot, but I do think that many opportunities missed for the Redskins is tough.
Wash goes up over Caleb Moyer and couldn't finish. Sadler rebounds. Stream the WSN channel anytime, anywhere for only $8 a month. Download from Roku or Apple TV or sign up at app.wsn.tv. Page comes around, can't get away from Island. Bulldogs up 4. And Caleb Moyer working against Kovault.
Both teams have struggled this third quarter, Mark, to score. And, you know, as you went into halftime, we've seen some exciting basketball. It's really slowed down here in this third quarter. I'm sure both coaches are, you know, wanting something to happen offensively. I hate to use the word ugly, but it's kind of been that way the last several minutes.
Logan Healy and Seth Sharp enter the basketball game. This is Healy, just entered the ball and guarded by Seth Sharp. If you notice, Zory Island is like on top of Cash Shale. Well, they just switched to Parker. Krim's got him now, but they weren't going to let him get loose. And now they switch back again, so Wash could get him. Moyer's going to get a 3 look. Caleb Moyer. Our 3-point field goals this evening are brought to you by Frost Roofing. Family owned and operated for over 95 years. You can join the Frost family. They are equal opportunity employer. Call 419-739-ROOF. And we're going to get a foul inside. Parker Krim working hard.
Yeah, Caleb Moyer did a really good job of knocking down that triple. Elida tries to answer here with Parker Krim. I love the take. They're going to catch Nate Metzger with that foul, but it's going to give Parker Krim an opportunity to get to the free throw line and try to extend that Elida lead.
Nate Metzger's first foul of the basketball game. Parker Krim had a basket back in quarter number 2. And now has a free throw to go with it. Koval comes back in. Etzkorn will get a break. Talk about a tough schedule. Elida goes to Findlay on Tuesday. They host St. Mary's on Friday, and the following Tuesday, the 13th, they go to Bluffton. There's a murderer's row.
Well, and with tournament coming up, I mean, I think that's what you want, but, you know, there's also a part where you want to improve and get in your groove before you get into tournament. Like you said, that's a rough stretch before we see what sectional action brings us.
Parker Krim split the pair. His team leads by 2 now. Moyer looking for a teammate. Sharp tipped it loose, and Wash ends up with it. Amari to the rim, and nope, but he's going to get free throws out of it.
I think that's the thing Elida's done well tonight is create turnovers, be aggressive. They've just really struggled, Mark, at the rim, though, to put the ball in the bucket. I mean, you know, typically they get a lot of their points off of turnovers in transition, and they had to get most of their points from the free throw line tonight.
There's Amari Wash. We'll get a pair of free throws sponsored by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. That's Amari's 5th point of the game. The foul went to Cash Shadle. That's his first. Evan Jackson will enter. He wears 23 for Elida. Here's Wash again. And it doesn't look like a young man who struggled at the free throw line this year. He's 4 for 4 today.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. I think he struggled from the field more than he struggled from the free throw line. Yeah. But Amari Wash did a good job of coming in and knocking down those free throws.
Scoreboard brought to you by Webb Insurance Agency. Jackson tipped it loose. Serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and in Bluffton. It shows Elida 33, Wapak 29, and Wapak turned the basketball over.
And I keep looking down at my tally. It's 15-6 with turnovers. It's not a tally that you'd want.
Download the new and improved WSN Scores app with the most up-to-date scores in West Ohio, brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, available in both Android and Apple stores. And here's Wash in the corner with his team up 4. And quarter number 3 is rapidly getting away from us. Sharp spins into the lane. High arching shot goes in. Seth Sharp's got points 3 and 4.
Yeah, Seth Sharp, he had to earn that one. He got himself into the lane and was banged around a little bit, but maintained his composure and knocked that one down. Good looking shot by Seth Sharp.
It's a 6-point lead. Coach Elkert thought he traveled, was pleading his case with the official. Didn't get very far with that. Here's Adams, just checked in a moment ago. Caleb's a 6'4 freshman. There's Koval with a steal, but somebody got called for a foul. Looks like Zory Island will get fouled too.
I think that could have went either way. It looked like aggressive defense, but it looked like also really good effort there by Wapak to maintain possession. And now they're going to get a chance here offensively with just under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Elida has 4 team fouls in the quarter. Wapak has 3. Cash Shadle's been scoreless here in this quarter after making 3 3-point field goals in the first half. And he's got, this time he's got Zory Island, and he can't get away from Zory right now. Healy looking for somebody and lost it off a dribble. Scramble for it. The held ball will favor Elida, and they will probably play last shot here in quarter number 3. Visit WOSN.TV for scores, broadcast schedule, and the WSN app. With 24.5 to go. Into the basketball game will come Crew Allen, who wears number 4 for Elida. Crew's first appearance. He's a 5'10 senior. As we end the third quarter action, stay tuned. When this one is over, we'll have our Stolly Hustle Award winner and try to get a coach interview before we wrap it up this evening. Island, Kayla Moyer trying to get a 5 count. Island into the lane. His left-handed shot is hard. Koval rebounds, gets it up. No, Moyer rebounds. And quarter number 3 will come to an end with Elida up 35-29. You're watching high school basketball at WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse. The premier sponsor this evening for the Wapakoneta Redskins is Al's Woody's Diner. Wapak's best place for pizza, wings, subs, and burgers. You can call 419-738-9111. And our scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Webb Insurance Agency. Serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and in Bluffton. John Zerbe, that was a 9-5 quarter in favor of the Elida Bulldogs, hence the 6-point lead.
Yeah, I think that quarter, Mark, you go into halftime and it's tight, but that was kind of sloppy. And let's just be honest with you. But Elida was able to extend their lead just a little bit and get out to that 6-point lead. I think if you're Wapak, you have to come with the same strategy. The biggest thing is they got to make some shots. Elida is still wanting to push that transition, and I think if you're Coach Stabler, putting that pressure on Wapak will, it's going to hurt in this fourth quarter. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams adjust as they get going here in the fourth.
Well, we have the Mercy Health lady on at halftime, Ann Stiles, and they are now passing out Mercy Health T-shirts and basketballs. Let's just hope those basketballs don't end up on the floor. Elida basketball. Yeah, there we go. Wapakoneta basketball start quarter number 3. There's number 4, isn't it? Here's a skip pass in the corner to Adams. He gets a 3 look. Bounces off the rim after a good check out. Etzkorn rebounds. Here's Wash in transition. Ooh, he had a chance for an and one. Instead, Amari Wash will go to the free throw lane. Our free throws tonight are brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and in St. Mary's. You can call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens here.
And that's exactly what Elida wants to do. You've seen Etzkorn get that rebound, quickly get it out to Amari Wash, who was streaking down the floor. Wash had a great opportunity at the rim. Couldn't get it to go, but he's going to have an opportunity now, like you said, Mark, to hit these free throws.
He is 5 for 5 at the free throw line this evening, and that is .7 for him. Amari back to the line. He averages 12 a game. And now has 8. And the lead is 8. That's our biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, you're starting to see a little bit of separation here out of Elida. And it's not necessarily because they're just knocking down shots. It's because Wapak has really struggled to get the ball in the bucket. Cash Shadle has been the one guy that they've been able to depend on, but turnovers and just the lack of possessions here offensively is what cost them as you see them turn the ball over once again.
What a defensive play by Island. Strip it loose on what looked like a layup. And pass was a little bit hard for Wash to flag down and went out of bounds. Gave you the schedule coming up for Elida. Wapakoneta is off until next Friday when they will host Bath, and on Saturday night they will host Kalida. And next Sunday, a week from here, this Sunday is tournament draw day. And guess what? Blue ball on the floor.
Listen. I think you jinxed this earlier by talking about the basketballs on the basketball court.
There's Wapak's upcoming schedule. Bath Kalida, and a big WBL game with Salina, who's playing really well right now. Here's that Elida schedule we talked about, how difficult that is. Findlay, St. Mary's, and Bluffton.
I think that's one of the things I love about high school basketball, Mark, is just the different matchups that you see. Teams that play in different leagues and, getting to play on Saturday nights. I mean, the league nights are always fun and intense, but just the Saturday night matchups are so much fun to watch as well.
Our instant replay tonight brought to you by Rhodes State College. Spring 2024 registration is now open. That replay showed you how hard Nate Metzger worked in the low post to draw a foul on Jackson Kovault. Metzger has 8 points in the game, and now 9.
I've said it before, but I've just always been impressed with Nate Metzger. I like his poise out on the floor. I like the way he carries himself. I like his talent and his skill. I mean, he goes in there and he's fundamental, and he's really been the key contributor for the Redskins tonight.
I think we're going to get a foul that will go against Seth Sharp as he undercut a Redskin rebounder. I think that will be the case. Yep, that's what the call is anyway.
And it's probably a good call.
Yep.
I mean, he was being aggressive and doing everything that he should have, but I think he got the best of the offensive player there, and they're going to get him with the foul.
Veteran officiating crew tonight: Jake Botek, Joe Allen, and Mark Freilich. Here's a lob inside. Moyer's shot. Oh, it bounces out on him on an inbounds play. Sharp hustles for the rebound. So does Metzger, and this will be a Trey Elkert timeout. Timeouts that are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. You can call 419-225-6067 or visit Metzger Financial Services. Back in a minute. You're watching high school basketball, WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse, the Union Bank Court. The premier sponsor for the Elida Bulldogs is John Stocker DDS, providing dental care for high school sports fans. That timeout was taken by Coach Elkert. He's trying to save a possession and used his second timeout of the game.
Well, and I think every possession right now is critical for Wapak. I mean, being down 7 here in the fourth quarter and struggling to get points right now, I think that's a smart move by Coach Elkert, maybe even to get something drawn up here so they can break Elida's press.
Inbound pass Sadler. He tried to wrestle up and will get a held ball as Kovault got a hand on it, and it will go to Elida.
Well, and again, I think that it's been the frustration for Wapak tonight. Every time they've tried to get something set up, turnovers have cost them, and that pressure defense from Elida has really thwarted their offense tonight.
This is Sharp right here with the basketball, and Island. Sorry with just a single basket this evening, but he has been a solid defensive player, making a lot of plays. Here he is with the basketball again. 7-point lead. Elida being patient this possession. Kovault tries to turn the corner, and he will get held by Ryan Sadler. Ryan's second. Into the basketball game, Caden Page with 4 points.
As aggressive as this game's been, Mark, you really haven't seen a lot of fouls. What a great pass there by Zori Island to find Jackson Kovault, Jackson Kovalt's got 8 points tonight for the Bulldogs. But, not a lot of fouls tonight. Both teams have played aggressively, but they've stayed out of foul trouble. The only fouls that we've seen that guys are going to the free throw line are attempts at the bucket.
Good execution of the baseline out of bounds play last time, pushed the lead to 9. Wapakoneta Redskin team, which averages 44 points a game, looking at 30 right now with 5.5 minutes to go in the game. Metzger works baseline and scores. He's got 11 in the game, the first double-figure score for the Wapakoneta Redskins.
And Ryan Sadler set a really nice screen for Nate Metzger, and he did a good job of getting to the bucket, using the glass, and cutting that lead to 7.
What I like about David Edscorn, among many things, is Kovault goes baseline, and we're going to get a foul. Edscorn had 14 points at half. If I'm coming out in the second half, I'm triggering the basketball, but he has not forced a shot here in the half. He still sets on 14, just keeps playing right along with his teammates.
Well, and I think even in the first half, those 14 came not from him being super aggressive,
Correct.
but just taking what the defense was giving him, trying to shut down Zori Island, trying to shut down Amari Wash. He had the opportunity, and you've seen him and Jackson Kovault really contribute tonight by being patient.
That foul went to Amari Wash, his second, the team's third of quarter number 4. Nobody's in any foul trouble this evening. Here's Cash Shadle coming off a screen. And they have done a good job with him. Then he got loose. Shadle for 3, bounced around. Rebound on the backside by Page. Moyer gets a three look. That's long. Sadler battles for it, and it ends up in the hands of Seth Sharp. A couple of good looks, didn't go down.
Yeah, they're just struggling, and those are both good looks, like you said. I mean, they get the two guys, Shadle, they get Moyer open looks, guys that they want shooting the basketball. They're just really struggling to get the ball to go through the rim right now.
Halfway through quarter number 4. Island working the lane and throws it out on top to Wash. Wash to the rim, missed a shot. Moyer rebounds, it's 3-on-2 the other way. Cross-court pass, and Metzger finishes.
You know, I'll tell you, they haven't been in transition much tonight, Mark, but when they do, they look awfully good. What a nice pass, and Nate Metzger finishes.
Well, would you be surprised if Caleb Moyer found somebody open with a good pass?
And an accurate pass, right?
Right on the money, man. He put that one down. It's a 5-point game. Here's Escorn to the rim. Floater, that one goes. They need a basket. David Escorn goes and gets it. Then his coach calls timeout. 3:28 to go in the basketball game. Elida by 7. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. Mark Shine and John Zerby from the Elida Fieldhouse. Our 3-point field goal sponsor tonight is Frost Roofing. Family owned and operated for over 95 years. Join the Frost family. They're an equal opportunity employer. Call 419-739-ROOF. 7-point lead, John. Just 3:28 to go. Elida's going to talk about taking care of the basketball, defending, and Wapak's got to pick it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, Elida does not have a comfortable lead. I think you can easily give it up. They can push the transition and they can score a lot in a short amount of time, but they've got a lead that they want to protect here, so they have to be smart with the basketball. I think if you're Wapak, you kind of got to get out of the game plan here a little bit. You can't really play, I don't want to call it stall ball, but you can't be as patient as you've been throughout the game because you have a big gap to pick up on before this game ends.
Caleb Moyer takes the inbound pass and finds Caden Page. Page off a screen, tries to turn the corner against Kovault, and we'll get an and one opportunity. Page was 6, looking at 7.
Well, and Page, he struggled with fouls in the first half. He's been in there the second half, but really hasn't got going, I guess that's the way I could say it. They need him to score. And the reality is that when they've been aggressive like this and when they've been in transition, they are putting points on the scoreboard as now they've cut this lead to 4, Mark.
They've got 7 points for now for Caden Page. He averages just 6+, so he's above his average this evening despite the foul trouble. 3 minutes to go. Elida with a 4-point lead. Island ball fakes, gets into the lane, left-handed shot. Gets a tip rebound, nope, battled again, and Page rebounds, and we get a held ball that will favor Wapakoneta.
It looked like Jackson Kovault was going to come down with it, but Caden Page did just a good job of getting in there and fighting for the basketball, and it ends up being that Wapak's going to maintain possession here.
Caden Page, 6'2" sophomore, point guard for this team. He rolls back and gets the inbound pass. And his team trails by 4 with a chance to cut it into the lead. Elida, Page working, and Page goes up and rolls in another one. He's got 9 in the game now. 2 takes to the rim for him.
I hate to say ISO ball, but that's really what they're doing. They're allowing Caden Page to go one-on-one, and I'll tell you, Elida's going to have to start providing some help because the last 2 times down the floor, he's been effective going to the rim.
Elida, 2-point lead, Escorn, and now back to Escorn again. Jackson Kovault comes off a screen. Wapak has just 2 team fouls here in the half, so they can be super aggressive should they choose. Elida has 4 team fouls, so any foul on Elida becomes a shooting foul for the Wapakoneta Redskins. And that's going to be one of those fouls right there. Caden Page will pick up his 3rd, trying to cut off Kovault. Is it again on a Rhodes State College replay? Tonight's quarter sponsor is Binkley Real Estate. Binkley Real Estate has an effective sales approach, effective marketing campaigns, and extensive network that will get you results that move you. Elida being really patient now. Etzkorn, Island, bounce path, and Sharp goes up through 3 people and gets fouled.
Missouri Island does a really good job of penetrating the lane here, getting in the lane, finding an open Seth Sharp. Sharp did a good job of pump faking, getting guys off the ground. He had Caleb Moyer and both Ryan Sadler up in the air, and now he's going to get an opportunity here to hopefully stretch this lead for the Bulldogs.
Caleb Moyer's second foul. Sharp, who is a 71% free throw shooter, makes the first of his Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throws. 3-point game. Each team now has 4 fouls here in quarter number 4, so we'll be shooting the rest of the game and makes them both. 6 points for him. Timeout, Elida. Timeout, WSN. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. Our timeouts tonight are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com. 92 seconds to go. Elida has used 3 timeouts, has 2 remaining. Wapak has 3 timeouts. The possession arrow will favor the Elida Bulldogs, and both teams are shooting the bonus. Game reset. 4-point lead, Bulldogs.
And I think the absence of that 1-and-1 becomes critical in these parts of the game. You know, immediately you foul, you get 2 foul shots. So I think both teams have to be really mindful of that. As soon as you foul, you're going to send somebody to the foul line to shoot 2.
The pressure of making the first one's not there anymore as Seth Sharp tips it out of bounds.
Well, but, you know, I think that the struggle is still that, you know, you're going to give them 2 opportunities.
Yep.
And like you said, that pressure's not there anymore. And sometimes I feel like when that pressure's not there, it's easier to make free throws.
I think you're right. Tried to run a back cut to Moyer, and that didn't succeed.
The thing about Wapak is they're down 4, Mark. They really don't have a lot of time. We're almost under a minute here. They've got to get points, and they got to get them in a hurry.
Page trying to spin in the lane, works and works and works, goes up in the left hand, nope. Sadler rebounds, nope, but he's fouled. So Ryan Sadler will go to the free throw line.
Well, Ryan Sadler was battling inside. He was inside battling with Seth Sharp. He got the best of Sharp, was able to grab that rebound, and really was like a tip because Seth Sharp had inside leverage on him, but Sadler was higher than he was. He's able to get himself to the free throw line and nail the first one as well.
That is Ryan Sadler's first point of the basketball game. He is a 68% free throw shooter on the season. His responsibility is defense and rebounding. He's done that well this evening, and now he's got a chance to cut the lead by another point. And bounced out. Rebound. Island in a hurry. Zori will be fouled by Sadler. Ryan now has 3, and we're going to go to the free throw line. Zori Island, 64% free throw shooter on the season, missed a pair back in quarter number 2. Double bonus time. That one bounced out on him.
You know, as a kid, everybody's taught from youth league to junior high to high school that you have to work into free throws. I mean, and you know, you hear that growing up as a kid, but it is critically important, Mark, and I know you coached a long time, but you know, how many points do you lose out on because teams struggle from the free throw line, and how much of a difference does that make in the outcome of basketball games?
He made the second of his Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throws. It's a 4-point lead, and we're going to get a timeout, Wapakoneta. We're going to take a break also. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. The premier sponsor this evening for the Wapakoneta Redskins is Al's Woody's Diner. Wapak's best place for pizza, wings, subs, and burgers. You can call 419-738-9111. Well, we're looking at each team has 2 timeouts remaining, and we're looking at a team in the place of the Wapakoneta Redskins need a basket here.
They do, and they've struggled to score away from the rim, unless it's Cash Shadle. Caleb Moyer knocked down some big shots as well, but with just 43 seconds to go, Mark, I know that it's only a 2-point lead here, or 4-point lead, but the reality is that, you know, they got to maybe knock down a double here. They don't necessarily got to get a triple right away, but if they can get 2 points here in that possession and maybe get a turnover, it puts them in position for a final shot.
They tried to get Shadle coming off a couple of screens. Island wouldn't let it loose of him. Page working against that score and spins into the lane and will draw a foul. This has been a really good second half for Caden Page. He gets to go to the free throw line.
Well, his aggressiveness has found him at the free throw line, and it's because of his skill. He does get pushed, as you can see, knocked to the floor. He's going to get an opportunity to cut this lead to 2. But Caden Page really has shown why he's their leading scorer, why he's one of the leaders, why he's done a lot of good things throughout this season.
That becomes point 10 for him on his Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw. See the jockeying around now. Both coaches making substitutions, free throw shooters, ball handlers, defenders. Here's Page's second free throw. That one bounced out, but the rebound came into the hands of Crew Allen, and he's going to get fouled.
Well, Crew Allen comes in the ball game. Like you said, one of those substitutions. He comes in, he gets really good position there. He comes down with it, and they're going to call a foul on his way down. It's a push, and it's going to take Crew to the free throw line.
Crew Allen, my stat sheet says, has not shot a free throw this season. Well, now he has, and he made one.
Well, my stat sheet says the same thing,
yeah.
And he looks like he shot a lot of free throws this season. Nice stroke there, no nerves whatsoever.
How hard is that? He's played a minute or so in the first half, played not much at all here in the second half, if at all, and gets a free throw and another one. How about those for 2 big free throws to make it a 1-point game?
And, Crew Allen's one of those guys that, when he does substitute in, Mark, it's not necessarily for offensive purposes.
Correct.
I mean, there's things that he does defensively, the hustle, but he just knocked down 2 big free throws for the Redskins. The lead is only 1.
Well, we're going to get a foul. I think somebody wearing a red jersey was holding Amari Wash. Cord cutters can watch WSN for free with an antenna on 44.2. Or you can use our app for only $8 a month. Sign up at app.wsn.tv. I did not see who the foul was on, John. I know that this will put Wash at the free throw line. He's had a good night there tonight.
Well, I like the strategy of Wapak, though. I mean, I think you make Elida make free throws right now. I think you force them to do that. And then offensively, I think you've cut the lead so much that you have a one-possession game that you can get down there and maybe set up a Cashado or, a Caleb Moyer for a triple try.
Wash makes this. He'll be a double-point score, double-figure score, and he does. He's got 10 in the game now. The lead's back at 3. 32 to go. Redskins don't need a 3, but they do need a score. Take a 3 if they can find it. Here's Moyer. Allen. Metzger. And timeout. 15.3 seconds to go. They used a lot of time, John. They might have to go for a 3 now.
Well, I think what you said earlier was they don't need a triple, but they got to score quick. They didn't score quick, Mark.
Yep.
And so now I think you're in the point where you're going to have to set up a 3-point opportunity. Coach Tabler in his huddle's talking about Cash Shadle right now.
Yep.
And making sure he's covered. But the reality is if you're Wapak, you want to get an open look, but you don't want it to be a bad look.
I just thought of, it's the first Friday in February. Okay, we're like 3 weeks away from the tournament, my man, and we're getting games like this.
Well, and tournament time is exactly what we want. I mean, we want games, and the coaches want games that resemble, crunch time. They want their teams to be battle-tested, and they want them to come in these situations where it comes down to the final minute or the final shot or the final play. So this is fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and I tell you, I know we have people, I've said this many times, people like Christmas, they like summer, I like tournament time.
Tournament time basketball.
That's my season. Well, right now we're looking at 15.3 to go, and the Wapakoneta Redskins are down by 3. Looking to see Shadle's going to take the ball out of bounds, and he immediately becomes a weapon. He inbounds it, and then they'll throw it right back to him. That's a play that some people use, but Coach Tabler saw that, and guess what he did?
Yep. Called a timeout.
He called a timeout. That he did for a fact.
And I love when football coaches do that, too. You come out, you like to see the formation, what they're going to do, how they're going to line up, where they're going to put their key players, and then, hey, let's burn a timeout so we can draw that up for ourselves and make sure we know where we're supposed to be.
Well, we talked about the tournament a little bit. You talk about key games. Not sure what they did this evening, but Ottawa, Glandorf, and Shawnee both undefeated coming into conference play coming into tonight, and they play each other next week at Shawnee.
Yeah, that's fun to set it up that way. And, you know, I think as coming into the season, we thought Ottawa Glandorf would be there, you know, with Colin White and Erford. They've just coming in with they're loaded every year, but I've really liked what Shawnee's brought to the table this year, and with the Berkey boys really coming along as freshmen and sophomores, but it's going to be a fun Friday night next week in the WBL.
We've got some upcoming games on the WOSN. Saturday night at 6 p.m. You can catch Delphos St. John's and Minster. Also, you can catch Spencerville and Bluffton at 9 o'clock on Saturday. Sunday night is Kenton and Allen East coming up. Some big games coming up this weekend. Tell you what, that Spencerville, Bluffton, Delphos St. John's, Minster, 2 huge games in their conference. Let's talk about this one. Shadle looks, and finally gets it in bounds to Moyer. Moyer trying to get to the rim against Kovac, can't. Here's a 3 by Adams. Missed it. Sharp rebounds. 6.4 to go.
And I'm not sure that's the play that Coach Elkert wanted, but Elida defensively doing such a good job not giving Wapak an open look. Cash Shadle covered, Tyler Moyer covered, Caden Page covered. Seth Sharp does a great job of getting the rebound and now giving Elida the opportunity to go up 2 scores.
I want to apologize. My vision was blocked. It was Ryan Richardson who took the corner jump shot as Sharp makes a Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw, and that's a 4-point lead. Here's Sharp again. He's got 7 points in the game, looking at 8. And did so. Elida has missed 1 free throw in the 4th quarter. Moyer for 3. Banks it in. Caleb Moyer banks in a Frost Roofing 3-point field goal. His second of the game. He's got 8. Timeout with 1.1 to go. Wapak.
And I think this has been indicative of this game. Just when you feel like Elida has pulled away just enough to put it away, Wapak creeps back into the game. And, there's only 1.1 seconds to go, but Elida's got to inbound the basketball. Something can happen. I'm sure Wapak's going to put on a press here and try to create a turnover, but give Wapak a lot of credit for not giving up. They have fought back tooth and nail every single time they've been down tonight.
If they are able to get a 5 count and get it so the ball doesn't get in bounds, that would help. Otherwise, you got to get an immediate foul and see if you can make a miracle happen. But you're right, the Redskins have continually fought their way back in. They were down 9 not long ago.
And I really like, even like Caden Page. He's, first half he struggled with fouls, wasn't on the floor a lot, comes back in the second half and has really been pivotal for the Redskins. If you're Coach Elker, I know there's not moral victories. I get that. We both know that. But this has been a solid performance by Wapak tonight.
Koval to inbound and throws it. That's scoring. There's the foul. Did he get it before? Let's see what the official said. I'm not sure he got the foul before the horn. They did not. The Elida Bulldogs will take a 48-46 Western Buckeye League victory over the Wapakoneta Redskins. John, I'll be back in a moment with our Stolly Hustle Award winner and a coach interview. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse where the Elida Bulldogs have held on for a 48-46 Western Buckeye League victory over the Wapakoneta Redskins. Our first order of business tonight is our Stolly Insurance Hustle Award. You can check out highlights of tonight's Stolly Hustle Award winner on WSN YouTube page. Well, John, we talked about several different players, the defensive effort by Zori Island and Mari Wash. We talked about how well Jackson Koval played, but you just got to look at what David Escorn did tonight. We're going to name him our Stolly Hustle Award winner.
Even before we looked at the stat sheet, we've seen that he had those 16 points, but I just felt like his presence on the court was like that calming presence that Elida needed. They were struggling to get Wash and Island involved offensively, and he stepped up and played. And he was 6 from 7 from the field, 2 from 2 from the free throw line, and he just did it all. I mean, I think he served popcorn at halftime even. I mean, but that leadership role of David Edscorn, I mean, he really was the key factor tonight for Elida surviving this scare tonight, I guess, from the Redskins.
Well, we're going to name David Edscorn our Stolly Hustle Award winner. I'm looking at a Wapak team now that is 7-10, 2-4 in the conference. They had quarter scores of 13, 11, 5, and 17. They got scoring from Caden Page with 10. Nate Metzger had 13, 9 from Cash Shadle, 8 from Caleb Moyer. This is a team that's very, very close, and they're dropped now to 7-10.
Well, and I talked about it in the fourth quarter. I hate to say moral victories because as coaches, you don't like that. But Wapak's getting better. They really are. And if they can, put some other things together, get Zach Niekamp back here soon. With Caden Page, Caleb Moyer, I mean, these guys are really starting to turn it on. Cash Shadle, if you're Wapak walking out of here, you got to feel good about how you perform tonight. Yeah,
the Elida Bulldogs, they'll go to 12-4, 4-2 in the conference, 15, 11, 9, and 13 with their quarter scores. We mentioned David Edscorn with 16, Amari Wash had 10, Jackson Koval and Seth Sharp each had 8. We're going to try to track down Coach Tabler, see if we can get an interview with him. Back in a moment. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. We're back at the Elida Fieldhouse. Mark Shine, John Zerby. We got Coach Matt Tabler with us. Coach, it's a 48-46 win. Nothing's ever easy in this conference, but your kids found a way tonight.
I'm so proud of them. These last 2 years we've faced a lot of adversity, and we still have a lot of the season to go. But there's some of these guys that have been playing for this new program for 3 years. And it was a tough buy-in when you go 3-20 the first year. And then we improved to 9 last year and got a tournament win, and now we're at 12-4. So I'm just proud of our kids. They gutted one out. I thought our defense was tremendous down the end, and we live on that. We talk about defense and rebounding, and I felt like we did a good job at the end.
You've come so far in just a short amount of time, and I know for us, we look at it and we say it's only been 3 years. It's probably felt a lot longer for you as you went through it. But, what I've seen is these guys stick with you. Guys like our Stolly Insurance Hustle Award winner, David Edscorn. Talk about the guys that have been through it. They've been through the losses now, and it's really nice to see them get these wins.
Without a doubt. Someone like David Edscorn, he works his butt off. He has for day one, and everybody on the team has. I'm proud of them because, a lot of these guys could, and we did have some guys leave. They couldn't take that. But we talked about a process, and unfortunately we live in a society that wants everything and they want it right now. But if you're going to do it right, you have to build it up. And that's what we're doing. We still have a lot of work to do, but I don't have to worry about these guys because they come to practice and they practice hard. They play hard on the floor, and that doesn't happen just at games. Every practice, they're out there busting their butt, and that's not even during the season. In the off season, they're working too. When kids are at the pool, at the mall, doing whatever they do, our kids are in the gym working, sweating hard, so I'm very proud of them.
Yeah. Coach, I want to talk about Zori Island for a minute because we look at Zori. He's a 10-point-a-game scorer. He gets steals in the open court. He's a flashy player offensively and defensively. But in the second half tonight, he took Cash Shadle out of the game.
Without a doubt. I know Zori, and again, we live where we look at the scoreboard sometimes, and we made it an extra point to say, if it wasn't for your defense, we don't win this game. Yep. And he took it upon himself because that wasn't his matchup. And he wanted that. He knew that offensively he wasn't getting anything going, so he was going to help the team a different way. And that's exactly what Zori did. And he's been starting for us as a freshman, and he's been on a big learning curve. And you have to be in our system as a point guard. And Amari Wash has helped him a lot, and they've kind of split the duties at point guard, and they can kind of play off of one another. But I think a 3-year starter, you can lean on stuff like that. You don't score many, then go do something different. And he did it tonight, and he did a great job on that.
Going forward, you've got, tournament right around the corner. It's early February. Just looking at your schedule, you got Findlay Tuesday. You got a big one with St. Mary's next Friday night, and then following night you have Bluffton. Just talk a little bit about – I know you're trying to enjoy this one right now, but just talk a little bit about what's ahead as you guys get ready for this tournament run.
Well, I guess the first thing we should talk about is to the athletic director about the scheduling. But that's okay. We want to be playing our best basketball. I learned that from Bob Segerson, and I know every coach wants to say that. You want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. So win or lose, if we're playing good basketball, that's what we're focused on. So these are good challenges. I mean, you don't want to start winning games by 30 or 40, not like we're built like that, but we want to be challenged. And Findlay, we're going to – that's an honor to play Findlay, a Division I school. They've been proven throughout the years with Coach Rucky, and it's just going to help us for the tournament. We were sitting at number 1 in the sectional district draw today, but we're not going to get caught up in that. We're just going to continue to take it one practice at a time, one possession at a time, one game at a time, and then we'll go from there.
Coach, I want to do one more thing stat-wise with you, because my stat page says you were shooting 57% from the free throw line coming in tonight. You're 16 of 20. I see Amari Wash in the low 50s. He's a perfect tonight. You've done some good things closing games out from the free throw line too. Yeah,
I think it was 2 weeks ago when we played Salina. We didn't close it out at the free throw line, and we had an opportunity to. I'm going to lose some money here because now I got to buy the boys pizza. I told them after that. But someone like Amari Wash steps up and makes those. And I have to give a quick shout out to Coach Adams. Before he left for Florida, he was working with Amari. And Amari hit some big free throws, and everyone did when you go 16 to 20. And I'm proud of them. And that's kind of attested to the condition they're in and being well conditioned and closing out games like they did tonight.
All right. Coach Matt Tabor, his team goes to 12-4, 4-2, 48-46 win tonight over the Wapakoneta Redskins. Congratulations, Coach. I want to thank Dave Evans, the athletic director you just mentioned a moment ago. He always hosts us and does a great job here. I want to thank our crew as well. Our director is Wayne Getz. Our camera person is our Derek Henry and Kelsey Beimer. We appreciate their work, and we appreciate you for watching this evening. John Zerbe, great job, my man. 48-46, the Elida Bulldogs win this evening. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN.